collapsed?
Well, at the time of making the film, none of us working on the film, including, you know, I'm sure Lucas and Kurtz, had any idea what lay ahead. The focus was on making the struggle really of making one very difficult film because of the things in it that had to be created and done credibly. And no one was thinking we'd be talking about it at Locarno 47 years later. That would have been a joke. You know, how could you make a film that would have such lasting impact? The goal then was to make a science fiction movie that probably at that time would appeal to the audience that went to films like Planet of the Apes or Ray Harryhausen films, the niche audience that was up for fantasy and science fiction. No one expected it to really be a broader appeal. So that all came as a surprise later.
And now, tell us, technically, how did you make that kind of sound? The blaster sound, like Abraham?
Well, the blaster sounds, it's called now, everybody calls it pew pew pew. Okay. I didn't name it then, that's become the description. It came about, I was actually in my recording mode. I used to carry the equipment with me, and my wife Peggy, we went home for vacation into Philadelphia area during Thanksgiving, and I took my 35 pounds of equipment with me and just drug it around. And we were hiking with our family up over in a wilderness area, a forest, that had a radio tower at the very top of this mountain with wires, guy wires that hold the tower strong. And we were hiking under those wires when I hit one of the wires with a backpack. And it made a funny pew. I guess that's the original pew. And I said, "Oh my gosh, that's really fascinating. Let's go back and get that." And so I had my recording gear with me, and I recorded tapping on those wires. And it was a sound to me that sounded very sort of science fiction-like, maybe a little bit like the weapons in War of the Worlds, the famous classic from Paramount in 1953, the skeleton beam. And I recorded that, and it got me interested in searching for more radio towers. So when I got back to California, I went around and auditioned all the towers I could find. Driving up to mountaintops, climbing over barbed wire fences and going up and tapping and hitting. And I couldn't really quite find the right tower that sounded just right to me. And eventually, way out in the desert, we found a small radio station near Palmdale, California. It was just an isolated desert radio station, and it was just a small building with a tower. And in the building was the disc jockey on his show. We went and knocked on the door. "I'd like to record your guy wires." "What?" "Okay, go ahead." So I went outside, and it turned out there was one of the limitations, if you wanted all the details, a lot of towers had these dampeners on the wires to keep them from vibrating in the wind. And when you touch those towers, it would just go clunk, clunk. But one of them, wires, did not have those dampeners. They had fallen off. So when you touched it, it went pew. Pew, pew. So I recorded that, and it became the basis for all those laser guns. First of all, the hand, the stormtrooper weapons, and subsequently modified versions of it and mixed with other things for all the weapons. The pew was the wire plus a sound I had recorded of a small rocket firing, so it had a swoosh to it, and you combine those two together and create a little phasing with them, which means it gives it kind of a hollow sound through filters. And that's what we hear today. If you play video games, or you're in the other room while your family plays video games of Star Wars, that's all you hear, right? We've all heard it, 500,000 times,
And then did you create